Did you ever ask her?
No.
Did you ever hear a yes? No, because you weren't listening to her at all, were you?
It all looks so simple on TV. An accused rapist gets arrested, goes to court,
guilty,
and ends up in prison. If only real life were that simple.
You know, I thought it was going to be quick, especially with video evidence and seeing his face and knowing it's my body.
Despite this graphic video, this woman, whose identity we're protecting, says she couldn't get Cherokee Sheriff's detectives to even question her alleged rapist in the 6 years since she reported the alleged crime. The sheriff's office telling 11 Alive it doesn't have enough evidence to make an arrest.
I would say either 50 to 75% are not taking a survivor seriously.
Jennifer Bivens is president and CEO of Ganessa, the Georgia network to end sexual assault. She says while as many as 98% of rape reports are legitimate, a small fraction ever result in an arrest.
And is that common? Is this happening?
Yes. Yes.
She's not alone.
Yes. No, she's not alone.
We took a closer look at rape reports in Cherokee County, and here's what we found. From 2015 to 2020, the sheriff's office investigated 220 rapes. It cleared 171 of them. That's a 78% clearance rate. It sounds good, but it's misleading, because we uncovered it only arrested 36 suspects, 16%. So what happened to the other 62%? A majority of the cases, 39% of them, were ruled unfounded, and 20% were closed, citing something called exceptional clearance.
It kind of gives a false illusion that we're doing a better job of solving these cases than we really are.
Georgia State criminology professor and former Memphis police officer Thaddeus Johnson says exceptional clearance is meant to close a case when circumstances beyond an officer's control prevent the arrest of a known suspect. For example, if the suspect has died, left the country, or is already in custody for another crime in another jurisdiction.
In policing, in police leadership, what we care about are numbers. So we care about public safety, don't get me wrong. But at that level, it's about numbers because funding goes along with it, credibility goes along with it. The exceptional clearance allows prosecutors and departments to be able to satisfy those statistical or those numbers without being held accountable to follow all the way through with the investigation.
How often should exceptional clearance be used? Is this something that would be considered a rare tool for police?
It should be.
But it's not. In Cherokee County's case, it's clearing more rape cases with exceptional clearances than arrests. That means more often than not, people who are suspects in a rape case are walking free. And our investigation uncovered Cherokee County isn't alone. We sent open records requests to half a dozen police departments. Cobb County Police exceptionally cleared 28% of all rape cases. Their arrest rate, 16%. Atlanta Police clears more rapes with arrests than with exceptional clearance, but it still cleared 20% of all of its rape cases exceptionally over the last 6 years. That means more than 200 known suspects were never arrested or charged with the crime. Forsyth had the lowest number of exceptional clearances, only 2 over a 4-year period. But out of 70 rape cases, it says 48 are unsolved and inactive.
I guess if you're a rapist, you come on to Georgia because, we're not prosecuting folks here. Is what that says to me. And that is scary for our community.
We asked these departments for the reasons these known suspects were never arrested or charged. Cherokee County was the only one that provided that data, saying in most cases it's because the victim wouldn't cooperate. Atlanta PD says it usually exceptionally clears rape cases for the same reason, but it doesn't keep an official record.
We shouldn't make that the scapegoat for reasons why we use exceptional clearance.
The other departments couldn't tell us why they're exceptionally clearing rapes because they're not keeping track.
That should be tracked. There should be clear statements as to why they're making these recommendations And especially if their decision is not to move forward with the case.
State Representative Scott Holcomb sponsored the Sexual Assault Reform Act of 2021, a law that he says is supposed to do more for survivors by tracking rape kits and making sure police departments are following through with investigations. But he says full justice for rape survivors is still a ways away.
We have to start prosecuting more cases and getting more convictions. From my perspective, the rates of prosecution are too low. That's true across the country, and that's true here in Georgia.
6 years later, it still doesn't matter.
For this woman, she's not sure the man seen on camera allegedly assaulting her will ever see the inside of a courtroom, but she hopes her case avoids becoming yet another exception.